litmus test in terms of tangible benefits are those benefits that can be equated to monetary costs. Like for instance, if the current process requires that the current staff spend a total of 10 hours every week in overtime, okay, because they need to, finalize the report at the end of every month. With the proposed system, not only do you need less staff, but you also limit or refrain or eliminate totally the need for overtime. So if the overtime pay is, I'm just trying to come up with an example here, let's say $50 per hour, and it takes 10 hours every week, so that's basically $500 every week times 4, that's $2,000 extra pay you have to give to the staff. That's expense for you every month. But with a computerized system, the staff need no longer to have an overtime work, so you'll be able to save $2,000 every month. So that's a tangible benefit, and if you can enumerate those tangible benefits, the more likely your proposed system would be economically feasible. Intangible benefits are those that cannot be quantified at all. Like for instance, an offshoot of the staff need not to go overtime at the end of every month in order to finish their report is that they can go home at exactly 5 p.m. at the end of business day. So that would equate for more work-life balance to your staff, and in retrospect, they would have a better morale going to their work the next day. So those are intangible benefits that your proposed system actually offers that you may want to qualify with your project. So that's the economical feasibility aspect. The third one is the legal feasibility. Legal feasibility is nothing but, is the project you're proposing legal? If we're talking about putting in place, I'm just trying to be facetious here. If you're trying to put in place, let's say, an adult club, for instance, in the middle of a conservative community, I don't think that's going to be legal in that sense. So definitely, it's not going to be feasible. The fourth type of feasibility analysis is operational feasibility. All right. Operational feasibility is that are the users who are going to manage this proposed system. Let's say you've just implemented a computerized financial system. Will they be able to, in the first place, are they willing to go to the training in order to learn the new system and on how to use that? If so, will they be competent enough to absorb what they have trained and actually convert that into the actual workplace? So if you feel that the users are competent enough to get trained, willing enough to get trained, and they're competent enough to actually absorb this training modules and apply that to their work, then you can say it's operationally feasible. It happens sometimes that the users, for some personal preference, they don't want change. They would literally sabotage the training in saying that the training sucks, the training doesn't work, we didn't understand a thing. You have to be able to catch this kind of situation. Is it actually the training? Is it the proposed system that's not working, or is it the user that needs to be changed in the first place because the system just works and it's the user who doesn't want to learn? So you have to understand this. Not because the user didn't understand the training, you would say that it's not operationally feasible. Most of the time, if you can come up with the first three to be feasible, most of the time, if you have the right audience, the right user, the willing participants, then the proposed system would be operationally feasible. The last one is the social feasibility aspect. The social feasibility aspect is that, is this particular system going to be accepted to the end user community? Okay. The number 4, the operational feasibility, identifies whether the actual users of the system, those that would actually use the proposed system, likes the idea of this proposed system. The social feasibility are not the end users, but the business users who are going to be an unwanted participant to this proposed system. Let me give you an example. So if you're trying to propose a new package, let's say a financial system, to automate the generation of the financial system or the financial statement. And what are these? It's to be balance sheet. This could be income statement, cash flow, revenues. Okay. The accounting people or the finance accountants they have to be the one to actually generate this report using the new system. Let's say a SAP application was purchased, and the users in the finance and accounting departments were trained. So they're going to use this, and eventually after using this, they're going to generate the report, and this report gets to be read and reviewed by the upper management. The question now is, are the managers who's going to review this report that were generated using this financial package, would trust the accuracy of the report? Will they actually accept the result? If they said we've just lost $30 million in revenue in the first fiscal quarter, are they trusting enough to actually believe in those numbers, in those figures? If in the end they're not going to trust the system, and they would require the accounting staff and the financial staff to say, I want you to do a manual computation of this because I don't believe this computation that was made by the financial package, then the entire proposed system gets to be defeated. While the users of the actual proposed system are willing participants, the end users, okay, the business users, will not actually adhere to the result of that proposed system, then the project is doomed to fail from the very beginning. So if the end users, in this case the managers, are willing participants to believe the result of that particular financial reports, then it is socially feasible. For a project to be called feasible, it has to pass all these five: the technological feasibility, the economical feasibility, the legal feasibility, the operational feasibility, and the social feasibility. Let me go back here. Going forward, so try to learn, after knowing whether it's feasible or not, try to define what really is the problem is. Is it all about personnel, or the workflow? There's no workflow process. Maybe we can just put in place a workflow process, therefore we don't need to actually buy or purchase new stuff, new investment. Or it could just be the actual people that really don't want to be trained. Or is it really office politics only? So those are the things that you have to define properly to identify what the problem is and to properly define it. Once you have defined the problem, identify who are the stakeholders, who are the shareholders, who will be the end users, who will be the target users, so that you would get some sort of a feel or a blessing from these people that, hey, okay, we want change, we want to computerize this, we want a more efficient process, we want a more accurate process, and if you can deliver that to us, then we're going to embrace that. Once you get that blessing from them, then you move on to the next step. You now try to collect information. Information could come from interview with the users themselves. Doing time and motion studies is one good way. Doing surveys and questionnaires, informal and formal. Review procedure manuals. Direct observation is nothing more than time and motion study as well. Look at the forms that is being used in the current process. Look at the report histories or help desk logs, complaints. Look at the inventories of the equipment, so they have enough equipment that we can just upgrade that. We don't need to buy new stuff, new servers, okay? Once you're done with that, then basically step 6, the last step in the first phase, you develop an understanding of the existing system. From there, you can create your alternative solution. Going to step 7, this is basically the start of the second phase, wherein basically your job is to identify, okay, what are the solutions, okay, to the current problem that I have just isolated and identified? Would it just be adding new resources? Okay, would we basically need to simply train them and upgrade their skill set? Do I need to change people in the first place, or change the actual hardware, software that they're using? Okay, all of these, okay, items under step 7 would lead to getting to have the different alternatives set into phase 3. Okay, so coming in phase 3 with step 8, this is where you identify, okay, given the array of alternatives that I have come up with the previous phase, what is the most satisfying solution, what is the most feasible or optimal solution. Okay, so that's step 8. And basically Once the user gets to be presented with this alternative, they'll make a decision which among the alternatives they chose based on the constraints that they have in terms of budget, time, and resource. And then they're gonna say, okay, I want alternative number 4. And then you're gonna say, as part of step 9, okay, we have two options from here on. We could either buy the solution to computerize this step, or we can build this. Are we going to build? Against buy. This is a decision in terms of what is the current resource that the company has. Okay, if the company has enough talent, enough resource in their hardware inventory to actually come up with a solution, then might as well just build it. But if it's going to be bought from the very beginning, each and every component of the proposed system, might as well just buy a turnkey system. A turnkey system is nothing but, you know, a complete package that you buy from a particular vendor. It's not just a particular hardware and software and support services into one, but more often than not, this also includes the actual project team that will be involved in implementing